Jana here with Jana's Quilt Shop. Well, it's time for Potholder Friday. I hope you had a good turkey day yesterday and didn't eat too much. We've got that all out of the way, so now we're going to concentrate on our Christmas stuff, namely our Christmas potholders. Look at this one. I love the trees. It's applique, but don't scare away from that because it's easy. There's the back side of it. Isn't that pretty? Well, we have kits of this, so I'm going to show you what we have in the kits and what all you're getting for your money on this one. You're going to get a lining fabric. You can do the red or the green. You just have to tell us what you want. But you put the lining face down to layer this piece, a regular cotton batting, the insulate batting that you use for heat protection. You put the shiny side up, and then you need a top fabric. We're going to put that over here. And then you're going to need your tree fabric, your base there, and you're going to need, I've got one tree fabric over here I'm going to show you. But you need some Heat Bond Light. It's paper side on one side and glue side on the other. If you hadn't done applique with the Heat Bond Light, I'm going to tell you how to do it. If you're buying it, make sure you get Heat Bond Light. Okay, and then in the kit, you're going to have your circle pattern that cuts all your circles out here. You cut it out and trace them on and cut them. And then I've already, my paper pattern, I have made a template out of cardboard here. You take that, and on the paper side of your Heat Bond, I've laid my tree here, and you just take a pencil and trace around. I laid the edge at the bottom here so I don't have to trace it. And I've already got it cut to the size that I want to fit my piece of plaid here. And I'm going to watch how I put it on my plaid because I love that plaid and I want to see how it goes. Okay, so I've got that ready to go. And I'm going to go ahead and base the edge of this, and then I'll go around and show you that. For this tidbit, people have been asking me about my binding machine. I'm going to show you how I put that on with my binding machine. It is that fast, okay? Not that you're going to go buy one, but you can kind of see how it works. And there's a lot of ways to put the binding on. You can put it on with a decorative stitch. You can sew it to one side and do like I've always done, sew it to one side and hand stitch it to the back. I love that away. But I'm going to show you a little bit something different today. Okay, so here we're going to just base the edges. It's always good to base the edges when you're going to bind something this thick. So, let's see. I got it going here. Yep, there we go. This machine is a nice machine too. It sews really fast. Look at this. I need to keep this flat so I don't have any fullness in there. Just pull it over to the edge. We're going to cover all this with our binding, so we don't have to worry about the thread color. It's going to cover it. Okay, cut that off. You don't have to trim it at this point. If you just trim anything that you think the binding machine is not going to cover, but the binding's not going to cover, but your binding should cover all this. Okay, so we've got that clear slate, clean slate for the front. Okay, so we're going to take this in there. Let's take this as we go. Okay, the binding is in the kit also, and you can get different bindings in there. So, let's see, I don't think we'll need any of that. Let's go in here. I got to get my, okay, I got to have my scissors. Whoops. I got to have my scissors and my pot holder stuff here. All right, come in here. I want to show you, this is my workroom at the shop. No one's here today, so I can do and take over whatever I need. So we're going to lay face down, put our Heat Bond to the back of that, iron it on like the count of 5. If you haven't appliqued, this is the way I do all my applique. So lay it down, iron's good and hot. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. One quick swatch. So you can tell that that's on really good. Okay, so you take, I use my Karen K Buckley scissors for this. You take and cut along your lines that you've drawn on there. These things are the best for applique. You're going to do this for all your pieces for the tree. So you have 3 trees and 3 bases for them. You get that cut, and you've got that. So you're going to bend the edge and pull that paper off. You might have to let it cool just a second, but you bend the edge and it should pop off. If it don't on one Just keep going, bending it like that, and you can get your finger in there. It's easy to do. Now, see, when you pull it off, you can see the glue shiny part is staying, and that's just paper. So you got that on. Okay, so now we're going to iron our pieces to the top, and then we'll go do the binding on this. So, as we see on our tree, our pot holder we've got here, the green one is on top. So we're going to start with the dark green. And on mine, I've already cut the edge off. You do not have to do that. We don't want any of it to catch in the binding, so we're going to lay that on. I'm going to lay my red one over here. And I didn't make them even. I kind of just laid them like that. And the green, I wanted him to go almost to the top. So something like that. Just making sure you're not going to get it caught in the binding. You want to fill it up. Okay, so I have 2 polka dot bases we're going to put in there. One over there, one over here. Push it up and line it up where it feels like it's the center of the tree. Remember, they're at different levels there, and you don't want it to get caught in the binding. And then there's a little black, kind of crosshatch black for the middle one. You see what I'm doing? You can let a little bit of that red stick out, or you can move it over just a little till the red doesn't stick out, or you can trim that off. I don't want my trunks together there, just a little space. Okay, I'm happy with that. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I keep touching them up. I should just go with it because that looks good. You can go taller if you want. You can change it a little, fill it up. But I'm happy with that. So you got it laid down. The paper's all off. The glue's going to iron onto this. So again, about the count of 5, you dab it. You don't pull. Dab it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, very good. Okay, I don't always do this technique. But what I'm doing on this one is I'm going to blanket stitch or applique stitch this down. And as I do that, I'm going to quilt it. So I'll put a red, you could go with red or black thread on this. I'll probably put red and then just applique around that. And if on this one I used a little blanket stitch, I used green and black and red. I matched my fabric on that. Okay, so we got this, and I'll do the applique later because I feel like you can do that. And I'm going to take my binding. I'm going to do the red one on this one and show you what that looks like. Let's go over to the binding machine, and I'll show you how to do that. You ready? Come on. All right. Turn my light on. And I have a bias binding here that I use in this machine. I've got it all rolled up and ready. And you know what? We use toilet paper holders from empty toilet paper holders. Cut them in half, and it makes a good roll with our binding. And so we put it on the spindle there. I put it on the binder here, and this is going to fold it as I sew. So I stick it up in there as far as I can. You will need a seam ripper and a pair of scissors here close. So I've got my seam ripper, and I'm going to make it pull it through. And so I pull it through and stick my thumb in it and see how it folds it. See that? I got it folded. Isn't that neat? All right, when I turn it on, you're going to hear quite a bit of noise because it's a noisy thing. It's a heavy-duty machine. So I turn it on, and I'm going to start at that top green tree. Got my foot up there, and I slide it in that. Okay, see that? I've got it slid in. I'm going to lower the foot down. I've got my good trusty light on there. This thing is fast, too, so I have to really stay on top of it. And watch it as it folds right there. Make sure it folds good. Sometimes if it catches a knot or something, it'll come unfolded, and that's bad. But this won't because I've got a good binding here. I have to keep it up in there. Go around the curve. I have to be careful. I try to help it out sometimes too much, and I don't need to. Because it'll do its thing. Okay, look how pretty that's going to look on there. When I get up here close, I trim this extra that I had off because I want to make my loop at the top there. So, I'm going to keep going on around. When I get up here, I'm going to cross over that a little and bring my loop around. Now you see why I want to use my binding machine on this thing? Because it just goes so fast. So I've allowed like 5 inches at the top for this, and I will turn this edge under towards the pot holder and put it over here at the top. And look at that, how pretty that is. Now it's not good until you get the applique done. We'll put a pin in it, and then you can either stitch that by hand or just a little straight line on the sewing machine. Let me go over there and press it real good and flat and let you see it. Turn this off because it is a noisy thing. Okay. All right, I got it all ready to go. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Okay, there you have it. There's the one finished with the black dots, and there's the red. I can't decide what I like. Now, I still have to go back. It's quilting it and appliquing it at the same time. So you'll see the lines on the back, but it'll just be the thread that matches. If I use the red, it'll blend right in. Isn't that cute? All right, that's my pot holder for today. I hope you like it. If you want a kit, they're $12, and you get all that in there that I showed you. They're $12. You can call the shop at 870-972-5543. You should have these on the website shortly, and you can order them. Okay, that's it for today. I hope you have a great week. Thank you for tuning in. Good day.